You won't believe we've had our gray, but somewhere there's a light inside of us. It shows the way. Not looking for no heaven or gold, 'cause I got you. Don't wanna show us off, but you're my all that I need. Trying to sugarcoat, but I'm flying so high. I don't even know if I'm coming down. You rock my boat when you hold me so tight. The world just disappears in front of my eyes. I'm telling you why, this ain't no madness. The smoke in the mirrors are memories now. The sun's gone down like a river rushing way up above. This ain't, this
Great to see everybody here tonight. We're going to get started in just a few moments. If you could share out the live stream, that would be awesome.
I stay in bed, I still got the feeling that you're next to me. Stuck in my head when lights go off. You're everything that I could ever want. Your touch so soft. Not looking for no heaven or gold, 'cause I got you. Don't wanna show us off, but you're my all that I need. Trying to sugarcoat, but I'm flying so high. I don't even know if I'm coming down. You rock my boat when you hold me so tight. The world just disappears in front of my eyes. I'm telling you why, this ain't no madness. The smoke in the mirrors are memories now. The sun's gone down like a river rushing way up above. This ain't no sugar-coated love. This ain't no sugar-coated love. This ain't no sugar-coated love. You and me, everything that we've been through has made us strong. You won't believe we've had our gray, but somewhere there's a light inside of us. It shows the way. Not looking for no heaven or gold, 'cause I got you. Don't wanna show us off, but you're my all that I need. Trying to sugarcoat, but I'm flying so high. I don't need.
Hello everyone and welcome to our weekly live stream. My name is Dan Currier. This is Creator Fundamentals. For those of you who may be new to the live stream, we do this every Wednesday night, 9 p.m. Eastern, an opportunity for us to hang out, talk a little YouTube, answer any questions you might have about your YouTube channel or YouTube in general, and also get to some channel reviews. Feeling kind of pumped tonight, excited to be here to spend some time with you guys. Last week, I was feeling a little bit tired, as you can see if you watch the replay, but tonight I'm feeling pretty good. Looking to spend the next 90 minutes with you, hopefully answer some questions you might have about your YouTube channel or what you need to do to take that next step and help grow your channel. So great to see everybody here tonight. A lot of familiar faces in the chat. I even see some new people out there. Going to jump in the chat in just a moment to say hello to everybody, but great to be here. As I said, got a couple topics that have come up during the the week that we'll talk about. For those of you who were enjoying that last song, that is actually royalty-free music from Epidemic Sound. So if you've never looked into Epidemic Sound, I definitely recommend it. There's a lot of cool music on there, and it really can change the entire the whole entire face of your video when you're putting something out and you have some really cool tunes to be playing in the background. So sometimes it can be hard to find nice quality music that really adds to your video that somebody's not going to ding you for a copyright. I've been using them now, I think, for about a month, and I'm really impressed with the selection that they have. So not an affiliate or anything like that, just letting you guys know because I think it's pretty awesome, and I've enjoyed using the music that they have in my videos. Actually, one of the most notable ways I use Epidemic Sound was in the VidSummit vlog that I did. I don't know if you guys actually checked that out yet, but if you didn't after the live stream, I'd appreciate you checking it out. It's a much different type of editing style for me. It's not something that I get a chance to do that often because I tend to make the talking head videos, the educational videos, but I am focusing on trying to find ways to make those videos a little more interesting to watch and not just have this mug in front of a brick wall talking to you guys. So if you have any suggestions that you want to leave in the comments after the live stream, definitely let me know what you guys think. Always happy to consider all of the feedback that you guys have. But yeah, if you haven't checked that out, I would ask you to check it out and let me know what you think. Again, it's my dive into the vlogging style edits. Kind of did some creative things that I was kind of playing around with. Obviously a novice on that, but I'd love to hear your guys' feedback on that particular video. So not to mention, also just released a within the last week or so, a collaboration with D Nimmin, a collaboration with Nick Nimmin. So if you haven't checked those out, I recommend that you check those out as well. There'll also be videos coming out on their channels with me. And in the not too distant future, it might be early next week, I think I'm going to have a video out on TubeBuddy, on the TubeBuddy channel. So definitely check that out. Appreciate your support and checking out all those videos as well. So how is everybody doing tonight? We're going to jump in the chat. I noticed that my display here on YouTube is a little bit different. We got the chat down below the video, got the widescreen action going. Gonna hop in here and say hello to everybody and see what's going on. We have Shadow Speedy in the chat bright and early. Appreciate you coming in and getting the chat started tonight. Chris Conkle Vlogs, thank you so much for coming in and supporting like you always do. You are awesome. Rosalie Muir, congrats on your first live stream on Facebook. That's fantastic. She says it was a success, so that is great. We have, who else we have out here? Alex, had the opportunity to meet him at VidSummit. We had a great time at VidSummit. I guess that's a couple weeks ago now. So that all went well. It was great to see him in person. He has a fishing channel. If you guys are into fishing, kayak fishing, I think specifically is what he focuses on. Definitely check out his channel. Kathy Fitz out there also editing a video at the moment. Good to see you. Thanks for coming and hanging out with us while you are editing. We have Ravage Land Production. Good to see you. Great to see you in the chat as well. Savvy BG, how are you, my friend? King Club TV, who else we have out here? JB the Pro, Gaming with Faraz. People looking for channel reviews. We'll get to that a little bit later. We have Dignity out there. Also met you at VidSummit. Great to see you here tonight. Gearsy. We have Simply Beth. Got some new names out there. Jason's Life Adventures. How are you? Great to have you on the stream. RPM Nexus, Iwin Boasting, Radio Don, needs more subs. How are you doing, Alex? Good to see you. Thanks for coming and hanging out. You do it out there as well. Great to see you. I also met you do it at VidSummit as well. Great to see you stopping by. I appreciate it. We have NA Games, Neo, Kirch Baby. How are you? Oh, and it did the scrolling thing again. You know how much I hate the scroll on the YouTube chat. It just gets away from you. You're scrolling, you think you have everything under control, and then it jumps to the bottom and you've missed like 20 messages. So trying to hop back up here, make sure I don't miss anybody. Try to get everybody mentioned in the live stream before we kind of get stuff going here. Got that. Where are we at here? Fun with Lund. Good to see you. Instant Rye Play out there as well. Great to have you back and hanging out with us tonight. Kevin Boston 7. Hello, my friend. Good to see you. Harley's out there as well. Lil Champ. We have Modern Day Family Man. Hello to you as well. Kevin Boston, what's life like with 16,000 subs? It's very similar to a lot of other sub counts. It's requires a lot of work to keep moving in the direction you want to go, but it's worth it. It's good work. It's fun work. So RPM Nexus, we said hello to everyone. Just making sure I cover all the people who tagged me out there. Who else we got? We got Jafito's Movie Blog. Great to see you. Thanks for coming and hanging out and stopping by. Can't have audio since he's at work. Great to have you in the chat, though. You can just see my mouth moving. I'll just go like this for the rest of the live stream. And then nobody will know the difference. So, all right, who else we have out there? Barnyard Chicken is out in the live stream. Rosalie Muir, we got. Great to have you guys here. Ryan Films Animation. Make sure I didn't skip anybody. We have NA Games and Jason's Life Adventure. NA. I think we got everybody. Southern Bubba, Artie Franklin, Lewis Thompson. Great that all of you have come to hang out with us tonight. Have a decent crowd tonight. Looks like we got about 30 people in here right now. So yeah, what is going on? What are you guys up to? How are your channels going? If you have any particular questions, maybe something that you're struggling with or something that you want to talk about with regards to YouTube or YouTube News or your channel, just tag me. So you just type in the @ Creator Fundamentals. If you're on a desktop, it'll kind of help you and it'll it makes it a lot easier to tag. If you're on mobile, you literally have to type it out exactly, which gets kind of crazy. But if you do that and you have a question, it'll be much easier for me to see it and I won't miss it, especially with that crazy scrolling thing that just kind of gets on my nerves. But it is what it is at this point, so we're going to deal with that. So Kevin Boston 7 says, I've tried affiliate marketing before. I got absolutely no sales. So how do I get sales and clicks on that without sounding like I'm begging for money? Well, one of the things that you can do, Kevin, especially since you have a decent following on Instagram, I would look into Linktree. I don't know if you're in a position to be able to buy the paid version of Linktree because I think it's like $5 a month, but you can actually in your Linktree, you can actually make posts to affiliate type items. So maybe you're set up with Amazon affiliates. Maybe you do content that talks about or touches on products that may exist on Amazon. In that case, you just add them to your list of links. With the paid service on Linktree, it allows you to add photos and change kind of the background and everything of your Linktree. Just makes it look a little bit cooler and more enticing. But yeah, you could definitely try that on Instagram. So anytime that you send people to other places, if you're sending them over to YouTube or you just want to send them to, hey, check out my Linktree and my profile for links to products that I use, or, you know, what ever kind of other affiliate program that you're using. But yeah, that's a great way. It's actually something that I saw another YouTuber / Instagrammer do that I thought was really clever, and that's basically incorporate some of those affiliate links into your actual Linktree. If you guys want to check out my Linktree, you can either follow me on Instagram, or it is Linktree. Here, let me see if I can type it in here just to show you, just as an example. So just so you guys know, YouTube just did that thing to me where it logs me out of my account, because when I try to hover over chat to type something in, it says sign into chat. So we're back on that again, YouTube. I see what you're doing here. I'm not a big fan of it. Hopefully that doesn't become a thing, because it gets really, yeah, it literally has logged me out of YouTube during my live stream, which is fantastic. All right, so we're going to hop back in, try to log in here real quick so I can actually get in the chat room with you guys. That would be super helpful. And then we do this, and I go HTTP, and it is link, and then tr.ee, and then I'm pretty sure mine is just /creator fundamentals. We'll try that. It says error, try again. Why won't that work? This is my live stream. I can type what I want in it. Apparently not. Yeah, I don't know why what it doesn't like about that, but oh, maybe that? No, it will not let me type a URL in my own live stream. That is bizarre. So YouTube is doing some things tonight. That's pretty cool. It's always fun when those little gremlins pop out on YouTube. Hey, can anybody else? Let's see, do we have any of the admins? Chris, can you type in a URL? It's actually Linktree, but linktr.ee/creatorfundamentals. Actually, what I'm going to try to do, I'm going to actually hop into my Instagram. You know, it really shouldn't be this hard for me to show you something simple, but YouTube is messing with me. So we're going to hop into my Linktree. Yes, it is just Creator Fundamentals. Let's see if it'll actually let me refresh here and get that link into the chat. No whammies, no whammies, no whammies. Stop. It will not let me link in my own live stream. That's bizarre. I wonder what happens if I try to use my Stream Deck to drop a link. Let's see what we got going on here, guys. We got some funny business going on in, let's see. All right, let's try good old Facebook group. What happens when that? All right, so that works. Modern Day Family Man, if you have a video that's public for a long time, then you make it private for a month and then make it public again, do you know what happens? Does it have the same publish date? Yes, I would imagine it would have the original publish date. I don't think it republishes in that regard. I think it maintains the original publish date. Instant Right Play says, Dan, sounds like a song. It's my live stream. I can type what I want to. I think you should finish out those lyrics, and I think you'll have a hit on your hands. Lots of tech issues tonight. I'm running on cellular. Yeah, it's always fun to have the tech issues, but the good news is, and I really shouldn't say this out loud, but so far these minor things like the logout, those are manageable. Not a big deal. Don't impact the ability to have a conversation too bad. It's weird, though. I don't know. I don't really know why it's... If I try to type it in, I get an error message like it doesn't know it's me. But if I use my Stream Deck to send a message, it knows it's me. So here, you want me to get really creative? If I pull up my Stream Deck interface, we'll trick it. We'll be smarter than it and see if it works. If we go into Stream Deck and I create a new... let's see. We will go in and we'll take this one and we will completely reappropriate it. It's got the Creator Fundamentals and we will call this Linktree. I see what you're doing, YouTube. I got an answer for you. And we do this. Check out my Linktree. And I do that. And then if I push, let's see, Linktree, and Unicorn and Centaur, you appreciate the no whammies. You remember the TV show Press Your Luck? I loved that as a kid. All right, come on, Linktree, let's go. Huh? It's like it doesn't like Linktree specifically. Because when I try to do Linktree, it gives me an error. Huh. Very interesting. So apparently it won't let me, it doesn't want to let me do the Linktree. But if you want to take a look to see what Linktree is all about, again, not a sponsor or anything like that. It is Linktree, but the EE is actually the extension like .com, but it's linktr.ee/creatorfundamentals if you want to see what one looks like. Or even better, I got an answer for everything. At least that's what my wife says. Check this out. So this is my Linktree. And as you can see, it, let's see, close that out. And all right, so as you can see, this is the paid version of it. So you get to do the background and stuff, and you have your picture, and then you can put little icons next to each one. but you can actually incorporate some of your affiliate stuff into this. So depending on what I'm talking about or discussing at a given time, I might change some of these links. So this is my mailing list. If you want to get involved with my mailing list and get alerts, not as often as I should be sending them, but that is to get on my mailing list so you can have updates and stuff directly from me. Obviously, you get your subscribe, a link that automatically goes to your last video. If you want to support the channel via the Creator Crew on Patreon, you got that out there. This goes to my influencer page. Business Model Generation is actually an affiliate link, an Amazon affiliate link to a book that I just bought based on a recommendation from Tim Schmoyer about basically kind of a modern approach to coming up with a business model, which is something that is interesting to me. When I went to Vid Summit, I put together a lighting kit that I wanted to have it. I wanted it to be compact and lightweight, be able to fit in my luggage and all those other things. So, and I've talked about it in a number of different places. So that's a link to the actual, I believe that might even be to Kit. If you guys, kit.com allows you to group items together in kits to share with people. Same kind of thing. It allows you to take like your Amazon affiliate links, put them into groups of collections of items that people might want to buy together. So that goes to that. The outer box symmetry case, that's what I just bought for my my 10s Max, and some of my merch, and then social media links. So as you can see, it's cool to kind of be able to share all that in one place. You get your Linktree. Of course, YouTube apparently has a grudge against Linktree. So, but in any event, it's one of those things that's available to you out there, and it's pretty cool. Kevin Boston got Linktree a few days ago, so good idea. Absolutely great. Launchpad Astronomy, great to have you in the live stream as well. Fat Guy Goes to the Gym. That's what I should be doing. I'm not sure if that's somebody's channel or it's a suggestion to me. Either way, it's right. All right. What else we got? We have this happen to me. Let's see. The whole logout thing. Is that what you're saying? Yeah. I don't know. Every once in a while, every few months, they decide they're going to do this wacky log you out of your own account in the middle of a live stream thing. But it feels like it's been a few months. All right. Let's see. Working hard to reoptimize channel. Lots of work, but love the process. Getting more views, subs, etc. Awesome. Great to hear. How to build Credit TV says cool channel launchpad. And let's see what else we got in here. I had to change my branding because of copyright reasons. Yeah, and that's something to consider. And I've seen that a lot from people, like people that do gaming channels, or maybe they're doing a YouTube channel about Disney or any of those things. You really kind of have to, even if you just say, oh, it's just a hobby, it's no big deal if I use somebody else's logo or variation thereof. It's important to consider that you never know where this is going to go. And if your channel starts to grow and become popular, the last thing you want it to have happen is to have your brand built around somebody else's copyright or trademarked logos or names or things like that. So I was actually having a conversation like that with a YouTuber called Chevy Dude at Vid Summit, and that was, one of the concerns that we were talking about was the idea that first of all, his name's Chevy Dude, but looking into, identifying his own brand such that he, nobody could ever challenge him on it if it was a brand that he came up with himself that didn't include, trademark items from other entities. So that's definitely always something to consider. Don't wait till it's too late or that you've gotten so big and people have or you become known to people with a specific name if you're not going to be able to use that name in all facets of your business. Launchpad Astronomy. Sorry, I can't tag anyone to say hello. It's not that iOS doesn't support, well, they don't support tagging, true, but if you type in, I think if you physically type it out, I think it'll show up highlighted. At least that's been when I'm on my phone in chat, I always just hand type the handle. So I would type at Creator Fundamentals, type the whole thing out, and then do that. It should have an option so you can just click in a drop you know, a drop down or like click on the person's name and tag them, but they haven't done that yet. Let's Play RC is in the chat. Great to have you here tonight. Good to see you. Let's see what else we got. Let's get 50 likes for Dan. I'm okay with that. If you guys are in the chat right now and you have not yet clicked that thumbs up, definitely click the button if you are hanging out and enjoying yourself a little bit. I think some people tend to wait to see whether or not they get their channel reviewed before they click the thumbs up button. So, you know, whatever works for you guys. But I can tell you right now, probably everybody that wants a channel review might not get them because there's only so much time in the 90 minutes that we're on. Yeah, click that thumbs up if you are enjoying hanging out with your fellow YouTubers tonight. All right, let's see. Radio Don, the Legend app is no more in Android. Any similar animated text apps that anyone can recommend? I honestly am not familiar with the Legend app. So if anybody is that's in the chat and you know an alternative, definitely let Radio Don know, because I can't say that I am familiar with that. Jason's Life Adventures. I'm having issues trying to pick a niche. So, you know, that was one of the videos I was considering making, you know, video ideas or topics or how to create, you know, how to choose a niche. But it basically comes down to, like, I can tell by your name, it just seems like you've kind of generalized, or I'm thinking that you've generalized your content. Let's see what we got here. So, you still got a couple videos. You're basically kind of just starting out here. I see you have a couple. Looks like you've kind of done a couple channel trailers. So rather than try, what do you enjoy doing? I mean, I would start there. Either what do you enjoy doing? What do you think that's helpful or entertaining? Instead of trying to figure out what you think might be successful, focus on what you will appreciate doing. Because the reality is, if you pick a topic for your channel that you're not passionate about or that you really enjoy discussing or talking about, it's going to be extremely difficult to succeed, because even when you love what you're doing, eventually the YouTube grind will get to you. And you really don't want to put yourself in a situation, you know, even when you love what you're doing, sometimes it can be hard to make a video. I enjoy making this type of content, but every once in a while, there are days when I just don't even want to look at a camera. So I think it's important that the number one thing that you think about when trying to focus in on a niche is, what do you love? Maybe you love jelly beans and you want to do a channel dedicated to jelly beans, all kinds of jelly beans. Whatever it is, no matter how random you think it is, or off the wall, or you think there's not an audience for it, if you love it, other people are going to love it too. And then, you know, then you become known, hey, that's the jelly bean guy, because nobody else decided that it was a good channel to make. And then you focus in on that and you love what you're doing and you constantly make content on it, and you get a super focused niche, and you'd be surprised how many people come out of the woodwork who are interested in that topic also. It's oftentimes the very, very focused channels that explode because they find their audience. All of their content is dedicated to that particular topic. And so people they're engaged because you're giving them the kind of content they signed up for. And then that sends positive signals to YouTube. And in turn, YouTube starts to let more people, more jelly bean lovers, know that your channel is out there and what it's all about. And from there it goes. So, but the idea is definitely pick something that you enjoy, or else it'll just be miserable for you trying to make content about something you don't like and something that kind of can burn you out to a certain degree. So that's probably the most important thing. Don't focus on what you think other people will like. Focus on what you like. All right, here. So hopefully that helped you a little bit. Dirty Shoes Adventures, hello to you as well. Thanks for coming and hanging out on the live stream. I got the crowd up to 38 right now. That's looking pretty good. Great to have you guys. All right, let's see. Catch up on the chat. Ravage, it might not be. I'm not really sure what that means. Radio Don, it won't let me link either. I mean, no one should be typically it's just the admins and the owner of the channel who should be able to drop links in the chat. But and it's weird that it'll let me do, like I can do TubeBuddy. I assume that'll work. TubeBuddy works fine. And just while we're talking about that, TubeBuddy, obviously the sponsor of this channel. It's the #1 browser plugin for managing and growing your YouTube channel. It's available to download for free, and I just dropped a link in the chat. There's also a link in the description. Definitely check it out. Sign up for the free version and just see how it works. There are some paid tiers that are also available out there, and I've just recently seen some upcoming features that I think are going to blow your mind. So if you guys aren't actively messing around with TubeBuddy, I highly recommend you grab the free version and check it out because it is super helpful, and they continually improve it to make it easier for you to get the stuff done that you need to do, keyword research, and all of that in an efficient manner so you can spend the majority of your time focusing on making your content better. So I see Driving Me Crazy out there. How you doing, Dennis? Great to have you in the live stream tonight. We have Scott's Thoughts channel. Great to have you as well. Let's see. Got to scroll back up here. See the Crab. Can you answer my question and give some helpful tips? I didn't see what your question was. Anytime you don't get your question answered, it's always better to just restate your question. I'm going to try to scroll back up and see where I left off up here. And yeah, Doug Houston says, yeah, if you physically type it. So it does actually work on iOS. Good. And we covered that. We got some congrats going out there to other channels. And got some people looking for some channel reviews. We'll get to those a little bit later. All right. Simply Beth, don't be in such a rush to niche down yet. Make some stuff first, and your passions will lead you towards something. Be intuitive. Be ready for the spark so you can recognize it when it strikes. Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, if your inability or the idea that you don't know what you want to make content about specifically, it doesn't hurt to start broad just to get used to making videos. The more you make videos, the more comfortable you're going to be with the process, the better your videos are going to be. And since you have like a kind of a general theme on your channel right now, just make content. Do what you enjoy doing. And then just understand that as you start to become more familiar with the process, you want to start thinking about what you want to make content in and try to focus in on that. In the beginning, if you're making a variety of content, you can also look at your analytics to see what people are actually subscribing for. That's going to help you kind of understand what, which particular videos are resonating with your audience. So that's something else to consider. Chris Conco Vlogs, I feel like your subs and community detract. Is that supposed to be distract? Or detract? I'm not sure what that, your niche, especially when you're just figuring it out. You got to experiment. Yeah, there's certainly nothing wrong with experimenting. What a lot of people do is they create a channel, they start making videos, and then they decide about something that they really want to do and really want to be focused on, then they make another channel. This wasn't my first channel. My first channel was The Average Dan. And I did that for a while, and that kind of spawned this idea to do Creator Fundamentals, and now I have the 2 channels. So the only thing you don't want to do is get into it. Don't worry, concern yourself with how fast you're growing if you're not focused on a niche, because it is going to take a lot longer to do that. So I definitely, it's fine, the idea if you just want to get into the habit of making videos, do that on your channel. And then once you are comfortable with that process, then you can think about what you may want to focus on. It's just a lot of times you get people who don't focus on a niche, but then they're also focused on why aren't they growing? Well, you're not growing as fast as other people because they're focused and you're not. That said, don't waste any time comparing your channel to other channel, because every channel grows at a different pace, and there's just no positive reasons to do any type of comparisons with the other YouTubers around you. Alrighty. Good crowd tonight. Great to have you all here. Let's see. Trying to make sure I don't fall behind here. Kevin Boston 7. How did you become so smart about YouTube? My mother is right around your age, probably a bit older, and she doesn't even know how to search for a video. It's not that I'm super smart about YouTube by any stretch. There are a lot of things about YouTube that are a complete mystery. And the fact that it's always a moving target always makes that a challenge. The goal of Creator Fundamentals is not to be an expert. It's simply to share the best practices that I've implemented and seen to be successful in my channel and other channels. So not trying to position the channel as, hey, look at me, I'm some YouTube expert. It's more of trying to share the things that I've seen work with other creators who may not know that those things exist, and try to shorten the learning curve for people that are starting out on YouTube or trying to grow their channels. But I appreciate the thoughts, Kevin. YouTube is definitely a grind. Consistency is super important. But like I said, if you find something that you enjoy, then it's an enjoyable grind. All right. Vito, Jeff just finished editing tomorrow's episode. That's always cool to get that done. All right. And who else we have? Is Nestor. Not sure how to pronounce the second half of that. Dematulak? Something like that. Alrighty. There you go, Alex. Your wish is granted. All right. So we're back to now. See, that's the second time I got to all the way down to see the crab say, "Can you answer my question and give some helpful tips?" But I didn't see the first. I didn't actually see a question. Or is your question just to give some helpful tips? Oh, let's see. I see this one right here. Is that? I'm not sure if the first one. I've watched your YouTube starter vids, but still need help on gaining those simple first viewers. I'm putting lots of time into my videos, but I'm not getting those views. How do I get my videos noticed? So one of the things I would recommend if you're just starting out and you want to get a little bit of momentum or traction, I would definitely get involved with some YouTube communities on Facebook. For example, I shared it earlier, but the Creator Fundamentals Facebook group is one out there. We're closing in on 1,100 people, and it is a great way to interact with other creators. Now, that said, it doesn't mean you join a community and start spamming your links to people. Join the community, get to know other creators, make friends, make those relationships, and that'll have the net impact of people who care about your content, and you'll start to get views that way. You definitely don't want to jump into a community and just start trying to spam them with your stuff, because nobody's going to want to watch it, because you're just going to look like a spammer and people will ignore you. But if you take an active role in a community and do that was a weird okay, that's why. Thank you so much, Alex, for the super chat. New moderator. He is now the stream boss. But anyway, the community, getting involved in the community, definitely helpful. Highly recommended it, especially when you're starting out. You learn from other people. You see what works and doesn't work, and that can really help you get your views going. So back to Alex. Thank you so much. Appreciate the super chat. Alex is now the stream boss. For those of you who may notice in the lower right-hand corner of your screen, that is the stream boss health bar. Basically how that works, I believe it's set now. Every $1 of super chat that comes in to support the channel does 10 points of damage to that. I think it's 10 points, or maybe it's 20 points now. It might even be up to 20. I think I set it to a bonus of 20 a while back and never never pulled it back down. So I think that a $5 super chat will actually take out the whole health bar, but it's either 10 or 20. In any event, basically what that does, in addition to getting your super chat comment pinned to the top of chat, it also will get your channel and icon displayed during the live stream. So for the time that you're on the live stream and you're the stream boss, you get to display your channel, get a little shout out, if you will, in a visual sense. Plus, it's there for people who watch the replay. So thank you so much, Alex. I appreciate it. It was great meeting you out there in Los Angeles. And now it won't let me. Come on, YouTube. You're killing me, bro. All right. I'm trying to oh, my Lord. So, yeah. I think YouTube is literally just... It's like frozen, man. All right, let's try this. We go this to live chat. Ah, whew. My entire chat froze up. Oh, I see a question. Destiny, how are you? Great to see you. Thanks for joining the stream. So I have a question, actually. Could you show us how to check on the best time to upload? I can never figure out, and I've been testing for weeks. So, generally speaking, I would look at the best time to upload two ways. One, consistency-wise, if you can do a schedule where you're posting on the same days every week, then I would do that. Otherwise, I would look at your analytics to see who your audience is. If you're in the U.S., for example, and your core audience, or the majority of your audience, is in the U.S., then I would consider putting out your videos first thing in the morning on, according to U.S. time. So consider West Coast, depending on where you live and when people start to wake up, and try to release your videos at a time when people might be able to watch them. Depending on your content, you could be a channel that people like to watch while they're sitting there at work, or maybe you have content that people tend to go to on over the weekend. So you can look at your analytics and kind of see when people are watching your channel the most, and then it's just try to post your videos when they're awake the longest and try to get activity that way. If you're looking for an actual tool that will do best time to post, one of the tools that I really like is on Morning Fame. There is a link to Morning Fame in the description. And I'll actually pull it up and show you what it looks like. Just gotta hop in here. Doug Hewson, just to give some love in the midst of the tech issues. Thank you so much, Doug, for the super chat. I appreciate it. That is awesome. And again, every time, okay, that's how I do it. All right. Thank you, Doug. Trying to get past the tech issues. So yeah, let me show you here. Let me pull that up real quick. Let's see. Morning Fame. Let's see. Just straight up Morning Fame. I think this has. Is it this? Let me look. I don't know if it's the strategy, and bear with me for 2 seconds and I shall find what I'm looking for. Maybe it might even be here. Maybe I'll break out something that I haven't used in a while here. And all right, we'll get this up to show you guys because it's kind of cool. No, that's easy enough. Drop that in there, click the old button, and see if it gives me what I'm looking for. And if it does, I'll share it with you guys. I think this is where it was. I wonder if he... Let's see here. Don't see it there. I know it's somewhere. It's definitely somewhere. Somewhere might not be anywhere where I know it's there, but it's there. All right, maybe... And... Where are you hiding? I know you exist. Or at least you used to exist, right? Ah, there we go. Okay. Let me show you this. Took me a little while to find it, but I found it. And you can see how all over the place I am with my upload schedule. Something that I'm going to try to fix here entering into 2009. But so this right here, this is part of Morning Fame. And this is the Publish at the Right Time feature in Morning Fame. What it does is it plots out all of the actual uploads that you've done. As you can see here, pretty much for me, in terms of a specific time of day, all over the place. Absolutely all over the place. I've never really bought into the focusing on a specific time. And quite honestly, because I do this from 9 to 12 at night, it just doesn't always play out that way for me to be able to post videos at the exact time. But it is something that I personally want to work on. But so this thing actually plots out all the videos that you've uploaded. It does it by day and time, and then it shows you based on it basically grades each one of your videos, comparing them to each other to determine whether or not they had good view velocity. So if they came out of the gate humming and a lot of people were jumping on your videos and checking them out, then this identifies them as green. And if they really tanked when you release them, then they show up as reds. So as you can see here, it identifies times, like in this case, Monday morning, 6, 7, 8 o'clock. That's a good time for me to do it. Monday night at 11, 12 a.m. As you can see, it depends on when I'm actually able to get the videos out. Sometimes it rolls over into 2 or 3 in the morning on Tuesday. Also, Fridays are good days. It's basically showing you the opportunities that present themselves. And then here, this yellow bar represents promising times. And this is basically, it identifies a time when your view velocity is up. And I think it also... Oh, the times worth testing. Okay. So, yeah, the promising times basically show upticks in your view velocity, but they're not quite as strong as the proven times. And then the times worth testing is actually, it identifies a time frame when you're gaining more subscribers than normal. So it suggests that as a potential time when you can post videos. But that's actually available in Morning Fame. Morning Fame is a monthly paid service, but I think it's a little less than $10 a month, I think. And it has a lot of cool features in it. It basically shows you how your videos, it looks at your recent videos and shows you how they compare to your channel and whether they're helping your channel to grow in a positive direction. Get the chat back up in here. All right. Hey, Christine, you're Real Estate Whisperer. Good to have you. Let's see. Doug, don't be waving your wrench around like that. Let's see here. Okay, thanks. Definitely take that advice. Thank you so much, See the Crab. I appreciate that. Yeah, Alex says once you establish yourself in the community, there's definitely going to be more opportunities to share your content without it being spammy. Salvatore, is it Vinci Guerra? Welcome to the live stream. We love watches. All right, let's see. YouTube is testing your loyalty tonight, says Launchpad. All right. Best time to upload will change over time. I used to do 11 a.m. Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I watch in the morning mostly, so I upload Saturday and Sunday at 9 a.m. and it seems to be fine. But thank you, Dan. I'll try out Morning Fame too. Yeah, so if you guys want to try out Morning Fame, you can get 30 days for free. The link, like I said, is in the description. So you can try it out for 30 days without having to pay anything, and then see what that works. It's every day, bro. What's going on, Tom DeSico? You know, me, when I went to Vid Summit, I went with Tom DeSico. He's in the chat. And, you know, we started saying that ironically to each other, and then it just became a little too common a phrase. Now I find it popping into my head like way too often. All right. Let's see. Make sure I don't miss. DC Scrap and Rooster, hello. Can't stay long. Stopping by. Awesome. Great to have you. Good to see you. And let's see. Simply Beth, Dan, have you ever worn mutton chops? Now I'm. Hang on 1 second. So it's funny because my. The answer is no. No, I haven't. But that was my grandfather wore them on a regular basis, or a fairly regular basis, it seemed. It's basically when you just have like really long looking, it's almost like really long sideburns. Which, by the way, so I recently put out a poll on Facebook and Twitter and YouTube about whether I should grow my beard out for the winter. I know, really exciting stuff. But there was definitely a majority who told me that I should. So we're going to kind of bleed right into Movember and probably continue on through December. And I'm going to grow this bad boy out, while also trying to make sure that it looks neat and tidy, because I do not want to go full Duck Dynasty here. It's not my goal, but definitely going to be a lot longer than it is now when all is said and done. I have grown it out a little bit before. It's kind of a lot of work, especially when you have curly hair like I do, to keep it in some kind of form. But we'll see how it goes. All right, let's see what we got here. Doug Houston says it's basically plotting your posting time history based on previous videos. It's not necessarily best time to post. So what it's plotting. So what Morning Fame does, it's a little bit different of some of the other best time to posts, is it's not looking at view count on a given time, because for software that looks at best time to post based on when you're getting the most views, then that doesn't work, because it's a self-fulfilling prophecy, because it's actually just showing you when you get the most views based on when you happen to post videos. The thing that's different about Morning Fame is it does it by view velocity. So it's not, it is the rate at which you gain views at that given time. So if you post a video on Monday and within the first hour you get 100 viewers, and then you post it on Tuesday and within the first hour you get 50 views, obviously it's going to identify Monday as the stronger period of time. So in that way, it's a little bit more than just identifying when you post, because it's looking at view velocity, not just view totals. All right, here. All right. Any games? I hit 600 subs 3 days ago, so I'm really happy. Congratulations on 600 subs. That is a great accomplishment. There are many channels that never make it there. Tom DeSico, yeah, I kind of hate that I say it so much now. I know, we kind of slipped into it. It's like, hey, that's kind of catchy. I feel like I say it every day, bro. Let's see here. Instant replay, boarding a plane. Won't be able to stay in the stream, but we'll watch the replay. Hey, thanks for hanging out with us for a little while at the airport. Appreciate it. Have a safe flight. All right. Waiting to get monetized. Sad because I've been waiting. I've been getting a lot of views lately. Yeah, that can sometimes be a bummer when things start to pick up and you're still waiting. So, since I've seen this a couple times in the chat, we love watches. If you're referring to your description, I would probably try to give a little more information that you're just trying to build a watch collection, and focus more on what type of content you're going to be sharing in relation to that. Are you going to be doing reviews of particular watches? Are you going to be doing actual vlog style videos where you go into a store and look at watches? I think the more you can identify what your content's going to look like, the better off you'll be. Also, I wouldn't necessarily include that you're doing giveaways in your description, because that tends to attract the wrong kind of audience. If you want to do a giveaway, never do a giveaway to attract an audience. Do a giveaway to show appreciation for your existing audience. If you do it to attract an audience, then you're just going to get a bunch of people who want to win stuff and not people who are necessarily interested in your content. All right. Kevin Boston asks, how do I get 100,000 views on one video? One view at a time. Then it's just a product of time. Let's see here. And okay, I think we're good. Scrolling down, make sure we catch up with everything here. Video Zeus says, Tom, saw you on the Vid Summit IRL stream. The good old stream. That thing was interesting. All right. All right. Catching up here. Got a lot of people providing feedback to We Love Watches. Simply Beth, my dad was a DJ with similarly colored facial hair, so you ever so vaguely remind me of him. Yeah, so I wonder if, I'm trying to think of where. I'll show you here. Hang on a sec. We'll break out all kinds of stuff here. Let's see. See how quickly I can do this. Got my phone making noises at me. All right. I'm curious. Do I have? Oh, well. See if I have a good one. So here, I'll show you. You can kind of see it in this picture, but because you were asking about the mutton chops, that's actually my grandfather. You can see he kind of had the thing going there, but that was kind of his common look. So. And all right. Tom said, yeah, he made an active effort to pop in on Daryl's live stream from time to time. Hey, props to Dan Norton for handling that live stream for a lot of time. I was getting messages. Somebody sent me a message. I don't know if I was out to dinner or wherever at Vid Summit, and somebody sent me a message and said, go out and find Dan on the Daryl Eves live stream and bring him food and something to drink. Because the poor guy was stuck on the live stream for hours. All right, here. Doug Houston says that was regarding TubeBuddy. Is that TubeBuddy's best time to post? Yeah, I don't. You gotta understand what this specific software is doing for best time to post, because yeah, it may be a case where it's just a self-fulfilling prophecy. Let's see here. No Shave November. That's gonna be me this year. Be a good hunting beard. Chef Jelly, welcome to the live stream. Great to have you. Magic Girl Caroline. We have, let's see, got Dirty Shoe Adventures. Where's the best place to find people to collab with? I think the joining the communities, that's a great place to interact with people. Again, it's all a matter of building relationships first. You know, be present in these communities, be active in them, support, or when I say support other people, that's not the support, the fake support that people are using to mean sub for sub and all that other nonsense. It's actually like spend some time in there, look at other people's content, provide feedback, do that kind of stuff without expectations, because I think the more you do that, the more opportunities will arise. Scott's Thoughts channel, my TubeBuddy icon is not red and white. It's, oh, if it's gray, I think that means that you're not logged in, if that's what you mean. If it's gray, you should, I believe you can click on it and actually log in, or click on the little drop down that appears in the corner of YouTube, and you might get a prompt to log in. All right. But yeah, that's typically means that it's not active, so you may have to log in to it. Let's see. Is mine? No, mine's logged in. All right, who else we have? It's scrolling. Don't like the scroll. I need to write a strongly worded letter to YouTube and be like, hey, chat doesn't really work all that well. It keeps trying to do what I don't want it to do. Destiny, darling, can you explain what preview is? I kind of get it, but I'm not. Do you mean premiere or preview? Let me know. I think you mean premiere, but if you mean preview, tell me where you're seeing preview, because I'm not sure what that means. Your real estate whisperer. I'm still rooting for the dreadlocked beard. Not gonna happen. I'm pretty positive of that one, that there's not a scenario in which I would ever do that. You can have all the hashtags you want, but not gonna do it. Not gonna do it. All right. All right. So now I gotta click the darn blue thing, shoot me at the bottom, and then try to scroll back up and see what I missed. And man, it just puts you down so far. All right. Congrats to Ravaged Lands Productions at 182 subs. It's awesome. Kevin Boston says, what are mutton chops? And I think we kind of covered that. They're like really long. I think it was like a big thing in the 70s. But kind of like really long sideburns. Instead of having facial hair here in the middle, they just kind of came down the side and stopped somewhere mid-cheek. All right, here. It would be depressing to have a premiere and nobody showed up, so I think I'll wait a while. You know, I actually did a premiere the other. So the way when you go to do the right way to do a premiere is when you go to upload, you need to set the video to scheduled, and then that allows you to set up a premiere for that scheduled time. The other day, because I wanted to see what Premiere did, I had already, for some reason, once you get to the edit screen, it won't let you set it as scheduled. You kind of have to do that when you're uploading it. Anyway, I decided I would just let the Premiere run. I would set it to public, which means it would immediately premiere. It basically counts down for like 2 minutes if you publish as a Premiere without scheduling it. And I think it was me and 2 other people were there watching the video. But basically what a premiere is it allows you to schedule a time to let everybody know that a video is coming out. And then what happens is it creates a permanent link to that video ahead of time. So, and then it reminds people that the premiere is happening. So basically what happens, the idea is to take your audience, get them all together in the chat. That basically has live chat just like a live stream. And then it does a countdown, and then it shows your video for the first time to everybody in chat all at once. So it's like a movie premiere. Everybody gets together in the chat, and then it counts down, and then the video plays automatically to everybody that is at the premiere. And then once it does that, it just becomes a public video that other people can watch at their leisure. But definitely don't try the immediate public version, because there's no opportunity for people to get in there and get ready to watch it. The other thing that I heard from people is that they didn't actually get notifications that the video went live. I honestly feel like I've been having or I've noticed that's been kind of a thing recently, more so this year, because I have 2 channels. So what typically happens for me is on one of my channels, because it's subscribed to the other channel, I get the notifications that would normally go out to everybody. What I used to see on my channel is the normal notifications, and then every once in a while, YouTube would just randomly send out an email to be like, hey, have you seen the Creator Fundamentals put out a video recently? So people were getting more exposure to the new content. Haven't seen that at all for the majority of this year, and the numbers have kind of reflected that. So it'll be interesting to see, you know, how that all pans out. And whether that kind of improves, but just keep chugging away and making content, and hopefully you fall into the favor of the algorithm. Let's see. And honestly, I don't feel like I've seen a lot of those types of emails for other channels, so I don't know if that's something that they changed considerably. All right, so how do you get to the publish at the right time section on Morning Fame? Dennis says that he doesn't see it, so I want to show you guys exactly how to get to it, because it's not super, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to verify. All right, so here's how you do it. Here, I'll show you real quick. So here it is. So this is what Morning Fame looks like when you first log in. You have a velocity tab. If you click on the velocity tab right here at the top, this center one is published at the right time. And that's going to give you that display. So just to recap, you start here on traction. You click on velocity and then publish at the right time. And there's some other cool stuff in here. You have appealing thumbnails. And this is cool. That kind of shows you all your thumbnails together. You can click the light bulb to get the dark view just to see how your thumbnails look and whether they're all consistent. You know, it's funny because every once in a while I'll have somebody tell me that they don't like my thumbnails because they all look alike. And I'm kind of like, that's the point. You want them to all look alike. You want somebody to be able to identify your thumbnails as yours. As you can see, I did do a variation here with the vlog one that I did. That was intentional. But as you can see here, the theme is the same. The goal here is for people to be able to, without even reading them, to recognize them as your thumbnails. So very good in that regard. This is also a cool feature because it shows you what your actual thumbnails look like at a variety of different sizes, which is good to consider exactly what people are seeing on mobile, for example, to make sure that the font and stuff that you're using can actually be read in the different various size formats. So I love Morning Fame. Definitely a lot of cool tools in there. If you haven't tried it out, like I said, you can try it out for 30 days for free. Just look in the description of the live stream or the description of any one of my videos, and you can find, you might have to scroll down about halfway. There is a link to Morning Fame that'll get you the 30 days free. And then go from there and check it out and see all the cool stuff you can learn about your channel. So I think it does all kinds of stuff. It shows you each video and how the videos compare to help growing your channel. Like this thing, I don't know if you guys ever heard me talking about the whole T-series thing that got me a lot of dislikes, but at the same time, it received 25,000 views versus my average, which has been a lot lower than that recently. Resulted in 77 new subscribers and a lot of comments and a lot of likes, even though there were, I think, twice as many dislikes. Many dislikes by visitor. Yeah, this was 528 dislikes. It was not a popular video overseas, but in any event, there's all kinds of cool features that that software does provide to you. So hopefully that helped you out there, Dennis, and that was a great thing to bring to my attention because I didn't show anybody where it was. Real Estate Whisperer says Dan Norton is a beast. Yeah, that kid, he had some good endurance there. All right, here. Oh, I got to check that out. Apparently Dan Norton got a gift from... See, now you have me curious. I'm going to do this right on here and see what Dan Norton got. I don't know. What is Dan Norton's Instagram? Is it just Dan Norton? Somebody tell me. Simply Beth, what is his actual... I would imagine I have friended him, but I don't know. It's hard to tell with the little pictures which one's him. All right. Any event. Artie Franklin, Dan, after improving thumbnails, I get a lot of positive comments on them and more views. Awesome. That's the goal. That's what we all want to try to do.
keep making tweaks and improvements to your thumbnails, and then you'll know you're heading in the right direction because you're going to start getting more traffic that way, and people are actually going to click on them. Daniel Patrick Norton. Let's look at that. Daniel Patrick Norton. I got to be able to just spell. There he is. I knew I was following him. I just couldn't find him. Oh, perfect. So Dan Norton does this thing with pineapple juice, and apparently Daryl Eves sent him a box of pineapples. That's pretty cool. We got a fever, and the only cure is more safe word, pineapple juice. That's awesome. All right, here, and let's scroll back up. Yeah, when you first sign up for Morning Fame, because it's looking at your data over a certain period of time, you have to sign up, and then that's when it starts tracking the data on your channel. It can take a few days before some of the features unlock because it needs data to compare it to. So you get signed up for the free trial and let it do its thing, and then in a few days it'll unlock some more features, and you'll be able to check out all that cool data. So, all right, who else we got out there? Get some more people. All right, and driving lessons by BMS. Welcome to the live stream. We got the Entrepreneur Shack. Entrepreneur Shack. I thought my thumbs should be better than my competition based on the search results. Guess I'm doing it wrong. Should be better. I'm not sure what that. Yeah, I mean, the quality of your thumbnail is not going to have any impact on your search results, but the quality is going to result in what kind of traffic you get based on those search results. You want to make sure that you stand out from your competition so that people actually click on your video instead of the others. All right. Mick Lockdown by Mad Crash. Welcome to the live stream. Thanks for coming and hanging out with us tonight. And we're scrolling. Fantastic Joe. Thanks for coming stop by. Almost missed this, but you made it. Good to see you. Dan Patrick Norton. Yep. Daniel Patrick Norton. I did check that out. So we're caught up there. And then. Okay, good. I think we're almost there. Unicorn and Centaur, I worry that my thumbnails aren't good enough, but I'm afraid if I change them, I'll make them worse. So I think everybody that's in the chat and myself and everybody on YouTube should worry that their thumbnails aren't good enough, because I think that there's always opportunity to improve them, and your thumbnails are really important in helping your channel grow. So everybody should be of the opinion that their thumbnails aren't good enough. And never get to a point where you're like, yeah, I make some pretty good thumbnails. I mean, it doesn't mean you have to hate your thumbnails. It means that there's always opportunities to make them better. And I think that mindset will help you to continue to grow your channel and evolve. And I ran out of sparkling water. Not a super fan of the Poland Spring sparkling water, but that one wasn't bad. It's no LaCroix, but what are you going to do? All right, let's see what we got going on here. Oh, we got... Oh, goodness. Got Doug. Doug swinging the wrench at people, and deservedly so. All right. And... Destiny, I'd love your opinion on mine soon. I recently have been less lazy with them. Now I have someone helping me out. All right, so let's see here. Actually, clean up all of this stuff so we can just see. All right. Perfect. Okay. So, let's see. We'll do that. All right, cool. And back here. All right. So, yeah, I added Destiny. We're going to take a look at your thumbnails here in just a minute. I added you to the list, and we're going to do some channel reviews now. Let me get in my channel review position here. Do some stretching. All right. Let's see what we got going on here. If you would like your channel reviewed, you need to tag me in your comment and list your channel name. So go ahead and do that now in the chat. And if anybody is pressed for time and they want to consider moving to the front of the line with Super Chat, I will consider those tonight as well. I'm probably going to stay past 10:30 tonight a little while so we can get some channel reviews in because it's already 10:18. But I got you, Kevin Boston, and Destiny. You're already on the list. So anybody else looking for a channel review, definitely get those in there. We'll see how many we can get to. All right, so I'm going to do, let's see, we want that one, and then that one, and then that one. Make sure nobody's got some auto things playing here. Awesome. Okay. Good. We got some channels. Get these all organized here. Come on. Load. Sweet. And put you there. And let's see what else. Come on. That one. And that one. Oh, that's not what I wanted. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All kinds of channel. Okay, we did that. Grab that. And okay, and all right, got a good collection of channels here. Get up there. Yeah, I see a lot of conversation out there about the hashtags. I feel like YouTube was pretty vague in how those would be valuable to your channel, and especially if you're using generic hashtags, like some people have said. You have a good chance if they click on the hashtag, it's going to bring them to search results that you may not rank in if you just throw a generic hashtag. Like for me, the only hashtag that I use is Creator Fundamentals because I'm pretty confident that if they do click on that, they're going to see more Creator Fundamentals content. But if you're making a video about cooking, and you just put hashtag cooking or hashtag recipe, there's a pretty good chance you're going to shoot them out to search results that none of your videos appear in, and you're going to kind of lose them from watching your content. So that is definitely something to consider. And let's see. We have I'll listen quietly and watch and listen. Using unique channel hashtags. Let's see. All right, so I think we're good on the requests. So let's take a look at some actual channels, shall we? All right, so the first channel up is Destiny Darling, and she requested that we take a look at her thumbnails. So let's see what the most recent thumbnails are looking like here. Let's see. So I'm seeing, okay, so this is, oh, you got a premiere scheduled. Cool. So have you gone from this, so you kind of have this border style here, and then you have in this one, so you're going to have to let me know if these are your new ones or that you're going with this, more minimalist style, which is fine. What I would do in something like this, like you're pointing to a product, I would actually, if that is like the focus that you're talking about, I would actually try to get that closer to the camera and kind of make it a focal point of the thumbnail itself. These ones down here, let's see, chit chat. I mean, mini haul. Like, yeah, and let me jump in the chat and see, because like something like this, like you're talking about a haul and a thrift shop, but I can't really tell that there's anything in the picture other than, like a screen print that identifies with the topics that you're identifying there. So let me see if you want me to look at. Yeah, once you actually do the premiere, it's public. The link is public and anybody can go to it. So, cool. All right. So we want to look at these. All right. So these are your more recent ones. These right here. What's in my jewelry box? Everyday jewelry. Branding wise, I think you're doing well because you're using colors that are consistent with what you have in your channel art. For the most part, I would say that the font is readable. It's in my jewelry box. Casual braid styles. Styling small colored box braids. Yeah, I mean, generally speaking, I think that they work. Obviously, your audience is going to decide how effectively they work, but just some general things to consider. Like in this, one, for example, I'm not really sure what you're focusing on. It says Autumn Thrift Shop Haul, but I don't feel like there's anything in this picture that you're focused on that was part of the haul. I don't know. I can't tell if you're wearing something, anything, but try to, draw interest to the thumbnail based on what that's about. Because this does look like you're actually on your set, and like it's a scene from the actual video itself. This one's fine. Obviously, you're on the thumbnail. So as far as branding goes, and you're using those consistent colors with what you got going on up here, so that works. Again, your face is on your thumbnails, which is good. So and you can play around with it. Like in this case, you have you have your jewelry box in the background, and you're writing what's in my jewelry box. Maybe you take a picture where you're actually like peeking in the jewelry box, or do different things like that. One of the things you can do with like A/B testing, if it's something that you look into in the future, you can actually get it with TubeBuddy's Legend level, which is a paid tier, their highest paid tier. But do experiments with that to see what actually draws people's attention in there. Try to create kind of an intrigue or interest on your thumbnail that gets people's attention. But yeah, overall, I mean, you're making creative thumbnails. They're easy to read. They match with your branding. So in that sense, I think they work from that perspective. It's just a matter of seeing how your audience is actually responding to them. And congrats on 250 subscribers. All right, let's see. All right, let me grab the next one. All right, so the next channel up is Kevin Boston 7. So the one thing I see here, I'm not sure why your name is doubled up like this. That'd be something I'd probably tweak. Also, your channel art doesn't really let people know what kind of content you're going to be making. So if you can kind of identify that and give people some insight into the type of videos you're making, then maybe that would help people decide if you're making content that they're looking for. Yeah, and your opportunities to do custom thumbnails a little more than just your screen prints that you're doing. There might be some opportunities there to make those a little more intriguing to people that are checking out your channel. Vlogging like big juggernuggets. What's next? But generally speaking, like you have this little animated thing, that could be something that you use as your branding. I would consider trying to maybe get that up in your channel art, and then identify exactly a crazy young man who does crazy vlogs. So I would try to expand on the type of content. The more that you can really identify or communicate to people what they should expect on your channel, the better is they're going to be able to decide when they visit your channel page whether your content is right for them. So in this case, you have some playlists that are listed here, and what I would say is on each of your playlists, I would actually you can add a description to your playlist to give people an understanding of what the content's like. Crazy food challenges, so explain exactly what you'll be doing in those. Overnight challenges, and just from a display perspective, when you do stuff like this, capitalize the first letter of each thing, because it's kind of like a title. It just has a more consistent look for people. and then get your descriptions in there. And we already did, let's see. Expand on your about. What you have for playlists. Looks like you're creating vlogs and challenges and challenges. Okay, so that's good. So yeah, I mean, if those are the 3 basic areas that you're doing videos on, which seems to be the case based on how you're doing playlists, then I would do, you know, Kevin Boston 7 vlogs, you know, vlogs and challenges or something like that. Something that identifies the type of videos that you're going to be making. And otherwise, you got everything displayed there. That's good. Yeah, so think about that. Try to get some branding down into your thumbnails. I see your image is in most of them. So whenever possible, try to get a fairly close-up of your face in your thumbnails so people can identify them as your content. And, you know, add that stuff to your channel art to kind of get everything working together so people know, A, that it's your content, and B, that it came from your channel, and that they all kind of work together. All right. All right, so the next channel up is Modern Day Family Man. Very cool channel art you have here. Looks like it is set up to display nicely on mobile as well. Reviews and how-tos. Very clear in the message that it's sending there. And let's see what else we have. So taking a look at your actual videos. So these are cool. These are nice and vivid thumbnails here. I'm curious if I feel like I would probably. My only concern with your branding on these is it's almost too subtle. Because you're just using the letters and it's kind of like, I don't even see it on this thumbnail, and it's kind of in different places. Like I would almost want to see it like consistently something like this, where you can, where people can get kind of used to it and recognize your content versus having to chase it. I mean, generally speaking, you're in the lower left-hand corner with most of them. But I would definitely try to get it bigger than what you have down here and try to keep it in a consistent place so people can easily identify your content. And there's a couple different ways that people do that, but I think, you know, even if you added, you know, it might like up here you have this, it would be cool maybe if you were able to take this silhouette of the head, made it like a solid color and put the MDFM across it and put the little head down here in the corner, for example. That'd look pretty cool and kind of identify your thumbnails as belonging to your channel. So that might be like a cool way to approach that. Name emphasizes I'm a family man on this channel. You'll see honest tech review, home automation, and sometimes how-tos. Hope some of my research and trials help you and your family. Very cool. All right, and then the actual videos you've been doing. Rugged Nomad Power Pack. Tile Pro versus Cube Pro. Tile with a replacement battery. Cube Pro. All right. So let's see what we got here for awesome. So one of the things to consider with the titles of your playlists is that the playlists can actually show up in search. So whenever possible, consider making the name of your playlist an actual searchable keyword phrase. To give opportunities to better for people to find your content. So rather than just doing like a general topic, actually look for a keyword phrase that people are actually searching for that relates to the type of content that you're making. So like awesome must-see how-tos, probably not that searchable. And then when you want to get your content actually displayed here on good, you got to get descriptions on your playlists to explain the type of content that is in that particular playlist. You do have the horizontal single playlists, which is my personal preference. Cool. And yeah, so like I see your old, what I assume is your previous branding here, you kind of had the consistency of everything down there, which is good. But you were taking up a lot of real estate with that particular formatting. So trying to get something maybe a little more basic, but down in the same place consistently, I think will kind of help make it easier for people to identify your thumbnails and your content. All right. And all right. Doing some A/B testing with TubeBuddy, and even after the run is over, I've selected which one I want to keep. It's still switching now and then. Yeah, I love the A/B testing. I actually have some A/B testing going on right now. Definitely something, if you guys are in a position to get the Legend version of TubeBuddy, that A/B testing is super helpful. And for those of you who may not have been on a previous stream where I kind of went into that, basically what A/B testing does, the TubeBuddy A/B testing allows you to add a second thumbnail, and then TubeBuddy automatically, each day, it alternates. So today it'll be your original thumbnail, then tomorrow it'll display your alternate thumbnail, then it'll go back to your original alternate, and it goes back and forth each day, and then it keeps statistics on the two versions to show you which thumbnail performs better. So it'll show you, hey, this particular thumbnail had a click-through rate of 6%, this one had one of 4%. Plus it shows you how many subscribers were gained and stuff based on the particular day and which thumbnail you were displaying. All right, here, and all right, so let's hop into the next one we have on the list. All right, so the next channel is Unicorn and Centaur, Everyday Magic for Extra Equestrians. Tuesday night live streams, new videos, Thursdays and Sundays. All right, so Everyday Magic. All right, still kind of trying to figure out. It's a small equestrian company in Georgia. We teach adult beginning riding lessons. Here on YouTube, we host Tuesday live streams. Tack Chat is a hangout where we clean tack, drink wine, and chat about the topic of the day. Craft Chat is creative. All right. So we do paint your horse for Halloween. I didn't know that was a thing. Let's see how we're grouping our stuff here. Again, with your playlists, try to consider keyword phrase type playlist titles that can actually help your content be found by the playlist. And so let me look at your actual thumbnail, see what we have in comparison. So I feel like there is a bit of a disconnect between your channel art. Oh, and you know what? I finally remembered to install this thing so I can draw on people's stuff now. Thanks, Doug. But yeah, so like this, it's really kind of difficult to see what's going on here in terms of how it relates to your channel. I can see it's a person and something that looks like a unicorn. But I think there's an opportunity, if that is kind of where you're going with your icon, then maybe you could incorporate yourself and that into the actual channel art itself. And then in terms of your thumbnails, yeah, I mean, it's the same purple as you know, this part of the rainbow, but I think that there's some opportunity there to kind of play with that. You have like one type of font in your channel art, and then you're doing something completely different down here. And the goal is that people will recognize your content and recognize that it comes from your channel. Tutorial. I'd also kind of play around with how you lay out some of the font that you're using. I feel like some of it, just the way it's kind of randomly angled, kind of creates more distraction than interest in the image. Painting horse. And I would also consider, or just something to think about, you know, whether somebody who's not familiar with your channel or you will find your thumbnails intriguing enough to want to learn more about you. And then on your, let's see, we want to go in here and stop that. So we got your uploads, created playlists. I would tend not to put created playlists so high here. If you want to do it, I would probably put that more towards the bottom. I like doing the individual horizontal playlists here so people can see more of your content, both your unicorns. I mean, in terms of consistency on your thumbnails, you're definitely doing that. I mean, there's some variations in the purple that you're using, but I mean, it could be as simple as making your channel art more in line with what you're doing on your thumbnails. It really depends on which direction you want to go. Also, you want to make sure you get descriptions on your playlists so people know the type of content that is there. And it looks like you do have a lot of them all on display, so that's good. So I would, yeah, just kind of think about your branding at, you know, from a high level as a whole, so everything kind of looks like it works together to identify who you are and what you're about. And that, you know, color schemes, consistent font choices, tying in your icon to an overall design of everything together. And I think we already looked at this, but so in this case, like, you identify what the equestrian company is, but it seems like your channel's not so much about your equestrian company as it is some other things. So I would lead your description more about what people will get out of your channel. And then if you want to provide kind of a backstory of where your name comes from, you could do that after in your description. but I would try to lead. I would get the first couple sentences to be pretty to the point about what type of content people are going to find here on your YouTube channel. All right. All righty, and then the next channel that we're going to take a look at here is Scott's Thought channel. So one thing that kind of pops out here, just for consistency's sake, is your channel name is Scott's Thoughts channel, but your channel art says Scott's Thought channel. I would kind of decide which one of those is the name that you want to use and make them consistent with each other. Also, on this channel art, I would consider doing something similar with this bottom font that you did up here with the drop shadow to make sure that you're not losing the font here on the light spaces in the image in the background. Also, I'm pretty sure that the position where you're positioned is going to cause you, and I'll even pull it up and double check, but I think part of you, if not all of you, is going to be cut off on mobile. And something to consider is that most, are probably a good 50% of your audience, let's see, Scott's Thoughts channel in the old phone. See how that plays out. See if it, yeah, so just real quick, if you look at your channel on mobile, you'll see that your image, which is kind of important to your channel and your brand and what you're all about, actually cuts off your head. So you can't actually see that. So you want to get your channel art optimized for a mobile screen, so people are seeing all of the message that you're trying to convey there. Also, your icon is overlaid on the channel art on mobile, and you can see that it's kind of cutting off some of the writing here. I don't know. I don't think that'll be, if you can kind of see that. It won't. It's going to be blurry that close, but you can see how that plays out. All right. So let's go back to the channel. This channel focuses on my life journey, recovery, nature walks, and various other subject matter that I'm interested in and sharing about. Prime objective is to make sure people know they are not alone, they matter. Let's see, referral link. All right, and all right. So your thumbnails. I'm curious why you have the TubeBuddy logo in your thumbnails. Unless your video is about TubeBuddy, I don't know that I would include the TubeBuddy logo in your. I don't know if you're trying to do that for like affiliate link purposes. But I would focus, less on the TubeBuddy logo and more on your font. For one, it's very difficult. It's very small and difficult to read. And you also don't want to, or there's no need to focus on trying to get repeating your title on your thumbnail, which is kind of what these two most recent videos have done. So you want your font to be bigger. You want to use the least amount of font as possible. And then you want to consider whether or not you have consistency between the font choices and color schemes that you're using in your channel art compared to what you're doing on your thumbnails. Ideally, you want those all to kind of work together. Like you have this up here, but then you used a black and white image in your icon, and it's kind of far away, so you can't really see your face. So the idea that somebody's going to see this icon and also see this channel art and realize that they go together is certainly not a guarantee. And then like I said, you probably want to use something a little blockier on the font to make it easier to read. You also want to choose colors that are going to contrast well against the background. Red is a really difficult color to work with, especially when you have variations in the background or you're dealing with darker colors, because it does tend to get muddy and difficult to read. So when you combine that with this kind of, it kind of looks like a permanent marker kind of font here, which I don't know if you're using the TubeBuddy thumbnail generator, which you might be in this case. But you can use, I think there's one it's called like Sigmar 1 or something to that effect, and then you can actually click on the little boxes around it and kind of stretch it out. It's a bolder font that's going to be able to display a little easier on your thumbnails. And then it also has the option to do the outline around the text to protect you against the background, where the background goes from light to dark. So that's something to consider as well. But you definitely want to, I would focus more not so much on the TubeBuddy icon, but getting your text big and legible. And even if you have to put bars behind it to make it stand out and make it readable, I think that's going to help people understand what what the text is all about there. Also, I would... So in this case, you have a channel trailer, and before you've offered any idea of content or value, you've asked them to click to give a thumbs up on your video. Definitely wouldn't lead the video with that. Some people might be turned off by that and not even bother watching your video. So I would definitely start your video with something to hook them, get their attention first, and then after you've established that, you can pop in the thumbs up. You can do it like an overlay on your video as you're talking, or it can be its own graphic like this, but I wouldn't put it right at the beginning. I would kind of engage with the audience, hook them, get them interested in what you're going to share in the video, and then you can do the thumbs up or subscribe or whatever your call to action happens to be. And then again, upload recent activities, epic playlists. My preference, so like these guys here, I definitely would never put text over your face, because your face is basically kind of your branding. The other thing here, because you're appearing in all of these thumbnails, you really don't need to include your icon as well, because it's kind of redundant. Your face serves that purpose to identify it as being part of your channel. So you could drop all of this stuff from the side of these and give a little zoomed up or a closer version of your face and maybe put some text off to the side, but I definitely wouldn't cover up your face with text. And then again, my personal preference is the horizontal playlist. Get your descriptions in there so you can get as much of your content displayed as possible, rather than doing like a playlist here that gets covered up by this little bar and you can't really see anything that's in the playlist. So I feel like the horizontal display like they do with the uploads just gives you a bunch of thumbnails, bunch of descriptions. People can see what your content is all about, and they can make that decision on this page based on a lot of your content, whether you have something that interests them. Alrighty. So yeah, for anybody who hopped in the chat late, already had a list going of channel reviews. So I don't know if, and we're already kind of kind of past time here. So I got to get through. Let me get through the ones that I have in the list, and then I'll take a look in the chat and see what's going on here. But all right. So the next one here is NA Games. Covers, Let's Plays, Nightcore, and Animations. And NA Games. Okay. Thias here. Thank you so much for watching. If you like what you see, why not subscribe? Turn the bell. So I wouldn't use your description as simply a way to ask people to do something for you. I would try to start this description by describing what your channel is about and what type of content people will or should expect to see. The other thing I probably wouldn't do is have this variation in your branding. You're using red up here, but then you change your logo to blue here, and then we look at your videos, and sometimes it's blue and sometimes it's red. And the way I like to look at this, or an easy example of this, is would Coca-Cola be as identifiable to you if they changed the color red? You know, if the can wasn't red and the writing wasn't white and it wasn't in that script language or that script font that is identifiable as Coca-Cola. You know, if like one day it was a green can and then a purple can, you know, and then a black can, versus you see red with the red lettering. Even if it didn't say Coca-Cola, you'd still think of Coca-Cola because you are used to that brand. That's kind of what we're trying to do here. That's exactly what you're trying to do with your channel and your branding. You want to get people familiar with your brand, so people identify your content based on those consistent elements that you use in your channel art, in your icon, and in your thumbnails. When you do this one red and this one blue, and then you look at your thumbnails, and sometimes you do the blue one and sometimes you do the red one. Sometimes it's in the upper right-hand corner. Sometimes it's in the left. Sometimes you exclude it altogether. It really creates a disconnect and doesn't give you the opportunity to maybe pull in as many people as you want, because they don't, one, they may not realize it's your content. But there is definitely value in consistency of branding. That is how people become familiar with your content. People recognize it as yours, and then that obviously helps you become more familiar to them, so they can more easily find more of your content if they are interested in what you're doing. And let's just take a look here. Definitely need to change up your main page here. Right now you just have vertical uploads, and then you're basically promoting other people. I would focus your channel on trying to grow your channel. At the very least, I would add more of some more horizontal playlists here, so people can actually see more of your content. Let's see what you have for videos. I think you have, seems like you have some good videos, or a fair number of videos out here. And then playlists, you want to make sure that you've created everything in playlists, and then you share that as you make more content, get them in the playlist and get those displayed on your main channel page. All right. All righty here. All right, so the next channel up is Tanya McGuire. Let's see what we have going on here, all right. So first thing, you need an about section. You need to describe, identify what your channel is about. Looking at your channel art, I can't tell what you are making content about. I'm not sure what I'm looking at. I mean, I think maybe it looks like some kind of arts and craftsy thing, but it's difficult to draw that conclusion. Other thing, your channel art is not optimized to be viewed on mobile. So if you look at your channel art on mobile, you're going to have part of your name cut off. And I will verify that, but it looks pretty wide. Let's just see if it squeezes in there or not. I feel like it's too wide. Let's see. Oh, yeah. So here, let's do it this way. That's what it looks like to mobile. That's 50% of your audience or more. That's what they're seeing on your channel. So you got to get your channel art to be optimized for mobile, and make sure that that looks good when you upload it, that you can actually see everything the way you want people to see it on a mobile device. All right, so you don't have an about section, so it's hard to say exactly what your intended focus is. Let's take a look at your videos and see if we can discern what you're actually doing here. So thrift store haul, this, that, and chat journals, happy mail. I'm assuming based on your, more so by your thumbnails than your titles, that you do craft. Is this crafting or is this file, folder, pocket, journal, 11th page, go with your heart, channel update, live stream project for Sunday. All right, so now I got to figure out what we're looking at here. All right, so it is some type of arts and crafts that you're doing. So what you want to do here is you want to communicate to people exactly what type of content that you're making. So in your about section, you definitely want to fill this out. Identify the type of content that people should expect to see on your channel. And then try to rework your channel art to include some information above and beyond your name that identifies what you are making videos about. As you make videos, get them into playlists. You do seem to have playlists here. Then we go to your home page, make sure that you are displaying those. So here you want to go into and customize your channel page. When you're logged in as you, at the bottom, when you hover down here, there'll be a button that says Add Section. You want to go into the Add section, and then you want to start selecting some single horizontal playlists. Get all your playlists listed out on the page as opposed to listing lists of playlists like this is. This is a list of playlists. You want to get them to display like this, which shows 5 of your videos side by side with thumbnails and titles so people can see more of your content and decide whether they have something that interests them enough to subscribe to your channel. And then branding wise, when you rework your channel art up here, you want to consider using a font that you can consistently bring into your thumbnails. And when you're using font on your thumbnails, you want to make sure that there's the least amount of text as possible. You definitely don't want to reproduce your title on your thumbnail like we've done here. And you want to make sure that when you use font that it's big and bold and easy to read and that there's good contrast with the background. Generally speaking, people will be able to read this right here, but then you look at something like this where it's pretty small, then you have this one which is really teeny tiny. You really want it, less is more when it comes to adding text. All right. And just catching up on the chat here real quick. Plemons Lawn Care, thank you so much for the super chat. Thanks, brother, for the info. My channel has started to grow quicker, but still no monetization. I think I'm stuck in the queue after a year of waiting. So if your channel is in, so you have, let's see. Interesting. So you have over the 1,000 subscribers. I'm assuming you have, let's see here. What in the world is that? All right, let's see what's going on here. So have you received any information from YouTube as to the status of your actual request to be monetized? I guess is the question. I do see your comments, Gearsy, but I'm pretty sure I reviewed your channel last Wednesday. If there's something that you specifically changed since last Wednesday, let me know. Let's see. My channel. I just want to see if you added any. All good standing, no strikes. And what is the status of your actual monetization? Does it just say, I'll be checking your monetization page to make sure everything is in order? Thanks, Doug. Everything is in order. So as far as you can see, your channel is currently in review, and it's been in review for a year? They didn't like deny you for some reason. It just says, please wait. Yeah, it says they're reviewing. I believe you reviewed about 2 months ago. Yeah, so as Doug's saying, if you tweet out to @TeamYouTube on Twitter, I would let them know that that's the case and that you haven't received any additional feedback, and see if maybe you can get a hold of somebody who can give you some insight. All right, let's see. Oh, further review is all they say? Yeah, I think further review is kind of the thing that they use when they need to do a secondary review. I think Creator Insider just did a video about secondary reviews. Not really sure what kind of additional data that they would need at this point, but I see a couple things that might be flags. But just like the assaulted and attacked video I saw in here somewhere. But I would think at this point, let's see, using the walker. Generally speaking, I don't see a whole lot of any concern. But yeah, I would definitely reach out to them and see if you can get them to give you some more insight on that. Arcade Angel, thank you so much for the super chat. Just a small YouTuber, started making videos again. Awesome. the hardest thing to do for a lot of people is to start. So that's a great accomplishment to having get back in the swing. Benny Draws is in the chat. Good to see you, sir. All right, so did that one. And give me a moment here, taking a peek. Oh. And all right. So I got a couple more channels in the queue that we're going to take a look at. And the next channel is, now I'm not sure how to pronounce this. I don't know if is it Givenchy or Givenchy or Givenchy? You'll have to let me know in the chat exactly how to pronounce that. But so the first thing that jumps out here is your channel art. I don't understand what your channel is about based on this channel art, and it almost looks like a character from like The Simpsons. If it's somebody else's artwork, then you definitely don't want to use it as your channel art because that can cause you problems. We look at your about section to find out what your content's about because you're not really communicating that in your channel art. Vlog, daily topics, couple fun, couple challenges, pranks. All right, so yeah, I would try to create a more relevant channel art rather than just a random picture here. And then get some actual information in it that explains what your channel is all about. Taking a look at your home page, you really need to get some more content displayed there. Let's see what you have for videos. Definitely seeing there's some videos here. So you want to get those into playlists and actually displayed. You definitely need to create playlists and organize your videos, and then get those playlists displayed on your home screen. Once you come up with some channel art here that is more in line with what you're actually making videos about, and maybe it's just your name and a picture of yourself and a description of what you're doing, then you kind of tie all that in together. I mean, it looks like in the majority of your thumbnails that you are presented in them. So I would, you could definitely use that as your branding. Let's see here. So one of the things I see channels do that I don't really recommend is videos like this on a vlog channel, where they start to dive into trying to share their tips and tricks. It creates kind of a disconnect with your audience when people are watching for a specific thing, and then you do, and it's an example of why I created this channel away from my other channel, because I had another channel that I did how-to videos on, but when I decided that I wanted to do content like this, sharing tips and strategies, I realized that it had to be its own channel because there were people who were looking for that type of content, but they're not necessarily going to look for it on a vlog channel. So if you're passionate about making this type of content, then you would probably want to do that type of content on its own channel rather than mixing it in. I mean, if you're only doing it every once in a while, probably not the end of the world, but if it's something that you enjoy doing, you may want to consider doing it on a different channel. All right. Alrighty, so next channel here is Chef Jelly. Love the channel art. Love that it's consistent and pulled in with the icon. Obviously, there's a lot of consistency there. If we look at your actual videos, So you are in your thumbnails, which is great. These look, generally speaking, they are pretty clean looking. If anything, I would consider maybe, for one of the things that I've noticed about food related thumbnails is anytime you have the opportunity to display food, I mean, people love people love food. So you have an opportunity in things like this to try to get a nice close-up, high-definition image of the food itself. And a lot of times you can use for your thumbnail, if you're actually like doing recipes or showing people how to make things, then you take a picture of the finished product and then display the finished product in a nice high-definition photo where you're holding the food close to the camera so people can actually see the end product, and you kind of create that enticement where they're going to watch the video to get to the image that they saw on the thumbnail. So you can play around with that, but generally speaking, it's good. You're in your thumbnails, and then you have the food there, so there's interest there. You don't necessarily have to recreate the name of the item or the title of the video. It's just simply identifying or, doing a close-up of a plate of cookies and a coffee would basically serve a much better job of enticing or interesting the viewer than actually putting this thing that says they're coffee cookies. So that's something that you can kind of experiment with and do, like pictures like this without having to list the name. Just do, it's basically food porn. I mean, people, the reason that is a term is because people see pictures of food and it just entices them to want that food, or at the very least on your thumbnails to learn, to watch the video and actually see what you're making and watch the video to see that finished product. And then let's see how we got this laid out here. Again, my personal preference on your main homepage is to get those horizontal playlists. Obviously, it is a preference. You can do it however you like, but the reason that I am partial to those is because when people see your videos in other places on YouTube, all they're seeing is the title and the thumbnail. And that is ultimately what they're using to decide whether or not to watch your video. The vertical displays here get into displaying your description. And I just feel like it's much better use of real estate if you have thumbnail title, thumbnail title, thumbnail title across the screen, and then you have stacks of those so people can see a lot of your content in a short amount of real estate on your page and make the decision about whether or not they are interested in what you are doing videos about. All right. And let's hop back over to chat. All right, so we have a super chat. Thank you so much, Arcade Angel. Can you review mine one day, please? I know I need better equipment, which is coming in the next few months. I'm buying Camtasia in a few weeks. Shannon Vlogs, welcome to the chat. So Arcade Angel, do you want me to take a look at your channel now, or do you want to wait for me to take a look at your channel? I'm happy to take a look at it now if you'd like me to pull it up. But if you don't want it up yet, I don't want to I don't want to do that to you. Kevin Boston says, so basically food videos are the perfect videos for clickbait. Yeah, but it's not really clickbait because you're delivering a thumbnail isn't clickbait if you deliver on the promise that the thumbnail suggests. If you put something on your thumbnail to get people to click and then the video has nothing to do with it, that's clickbait. If you put something that's super enticing on your thumbnail, but then you deliver that within the video, then that's completely legitimate. And that's what you actually want to do. The better that you can entice people to watch the video, that's the ultimate goal of your thumbnail. That's exactly what you should be doing. Now, if you're putting something, you put like a Lamborghini on the thumbnail, but you're doing a cooking video that has nothing to do with cars, then obviously there's a disconnect there. That's clickbait. Shannon says she's lurking, doing some stuff around the house. Well, thanks for coming and hanging out with us, even in lurking mode. All right, so yes, please now would be good too. All right, so we're going to take a look at your channel. All right, so Arcade Angel, official channel of Arcade Angel, subscribe for high quality content. So, generally speaking, I love the look of your channel art. I think it's pretty cool looking, but I would change a couple things. I don't think there's a need to do the official channel of Arcade Angel. Simply having your logo in the middle should be sufficient. Also, like one of the things that's kind of subtle in your channel art, but I think it, just based on taking a quick peek at some of your recent videos, that claw to the left of your logo is kind of a, hey, Mansion. Mansion has come in to hang out with us. Maybe she'll, you want to come up here and say hello? Hello, it's been so long. But like that claw that's hanging down, if you could create some contrast behind that claw so it stands out from the background, I think that would kind of accentuate it and look good. And I can tell that that's part of the idea of your branding, because your icon actually has the claw in it. The other thing, come on, get up here. Also, rather than putting subscribe for high quality content in your channel art, I would identify what type of content you're making. You gonna come up here or not? We love winning at claw machines and coin pushers. Cool. So our favorite being the Wizard of Oz, coin pusher. So instead of doing subscribe for high quality content, I would just put a description down here that identifies the type of videos, claw machines and coin pusher videos, and then the frequency with which you plan on sharing those. Because you're not really communicating to your audience what the high quality content is yet, other than it's somehow arcade related. And then when we look at your icon, so your logo is cool looking, but it's in this format, it's kind of hard. It's kind of hard to see, and Mansion is trying to get my attention here. So come on, get up here, and you can say hi to YouTube. All right. So, and then we look at your actual videos. So one of the things that I would look to try to do is find some consistency in the font and the color choices for your font that you're using on your thumbnails. Like here, not a big fan of the red in general, because it's really hard to make red look good. Really, the only way that I found to make red look good with a varying background is to actually add a white block or bar behind it to offer the appropriate level of contrast. Also, when you're adding text to your thumbnails, you don't want to put anything in the lower right-hand corner, because as you can see, it gets obscured by the timestamp and you can't read it anyway. So there's no sense in putting font down there, because nobody's ever going to be able to tell what it says. Again, the red font and stuff like this. Also, branding-wise, you need to be able to add something to your thumbnails that identifies your these videos as belonging to your channel. The more that you can do that, the better you build your branding, and people are able to recognize your content as being as originating from your channel. So I would kind of spend some time in that as well. We come here. I would definitely come in here and customize your channel page. Get rid of this all activities feed that you have there right now, and customize that and actually add horizontal playlists or lists of your videos to show people. So right now it's just Claw Machine wins, and you have everything in that playlist. So if this is literally all claw machines, that's something that I would also consider, because if you're just doing claw machines, even though you like coin pushers, but you're not making videos about coin pushers, I would, consider changing that as well. I see this is kind of some older stuff that's a little more off topic, but seems like all your recent stuff is claw machine. I actually don't see anything that looks like the coin pushing content. So unless you have plans in the near future to do the coin pushers, perhaps your channel is really just about claw machines, and maybe that's how you focus everything, and that's what you put in your description and in your channel art. All right. Have a good night, Unicorn and Centaur. And Beanie Draw says, and he just got the stream demonetized. What was the? I didn't even pick up on it. What was the demonetization activity? Or was it scrolling through somebody's videos? I'm not sure how long ago that was. All right, here. The claw. My evening is going decent, a little sleepy. All right, let's see. Gearsy says, tips for getting sponsors. Well, in order to have a sponsor needs to get some value in return. So I would consider what kind of value that you are offering that would be valuable to a sponsor. Typically, that has to do with an audience that you built. So are you building an engaged audience? And then what type of sponsorship or what type of product do you think that you would be able to share with your audience that would return value to the sponsor itself? If you have an audience, if they are engaged, if you know a particular company that offers a product that would be valuable to your audience, and that you would be able to in turn offer value back to that sponsor. Because at the end of the day, sponsors don't sponsor people just to help you out. They're sponsoring you because they want their product or service in front of your audience, with the idea that the return on that sponsorship is going to exceed the cost to sponsor you. If you're not creating that much value, then it's going to be a hard sell to encourage somebody to want to sponsor your channel. So at the very least, you have to have developed something, typically an audience, that can return more value than you think that you deserve. So once you've done that, I think it's about building relationships with those companies. And if you don't have the relationship, you can certainly reach out to them, and you just have to be able to communicate your actual value. But in my experience, through my sponsorship and what I've heard from stories from other creators who have been really successful at it, is that there's a lot to be said for the relationships that you build. Instead of just reaching out to somebody cold and asking for a sponsorship, maybe you actively mention their products and stuff in your social media posts and everything that you're doing before they sponsor you, so they become familiar with you, so they know you as somebody who is, you know, kind of a brand ambassador to the products that they do, and they know about you before there's a relationship of a sponsorship. The better that you can, you know, do that, the easier that conversation becomes when you're actually trying to get them to sponsor your. Come on. There we go. Come here. Please don't claw me. So Mansion, after a long drought, has come in to claw me in the middle of a live stream. So we're going to pop her up right here. Oh, God, that hurts. Oh, there she is. Say hello. And don't be... There you go. Want to say hello to the camera? But for whatever reason, she refuses to just be held without having her claws out. Feels good, let me tell you. All right. Let's see. Kevin Boston, how do you get more people in a live stream? Yeah, I mean, getting consistent followership in a live stream, I think, has to do with being consistent with when you have it, trying to share it, make people aware of it. You know, and then as your audience grows and they become aware, I mean, sometimes it's like night and day how many people show up for a live stream. So it just happens sometimes. But I think the more value that you offer in general and the audience that you build tends to make it a little bit easier for to do that. Can you give me some kind of insight, even if it's just 1 minute, please? Insight about what? Yeah, no, not a puppy. I don't know what you mean by insight. Like, what are you trying to do? If you're looking for insight, I have a couple hundred videos that you can check out that are all about insight on how to do stuff on YouTube. Simply Beth, the answer to 99% of questions ever asked on this stream give the viewer value they can't get anywhere else, that is presented in a way in which they can decipher that value within seconds. Yeah, I mean, you definitely, the beauty about YouTube, and I wouldn't even go so far to say that they can't get anywhere else. A lot of people that choose whatever kind of channel is, there's plenty of other channels that do what you do. There's plenty of channels that do what I do. It's just some people respond to one person's style better than the other. You know, I mean, there were certainly people that I followed to learn the information that I know, and you know, you have two different vloggers that both do good quality, and one person follows this vlogger, the other person follows this vlogger. It's just about, you know, how certain people respond, what type of content that they're looking for. So otherwise, yeah, I mean, it's definitely about being able to generate value, to deliver your value. Hashtag tagline. And that's what it's all about here, is learning the things that you need to do to be able to consistently deliver whatever it is that you are trying to make content about. On your side of the equation, it's passion or it's interest in the topic that you are. On the other person's side, they don't necessarily care about what you like to do. It's how you deliver that information to them in a way that they can receive it and make it meaningful for them, whether that's through education like this channel. You know, maybe that some people are looking for a fast pace and want somebody that speaks, you know, 100 words a minute. Other people like somebody to break it down step by step and kind of go through and provide details that maybe somebody else isn't providing. So it really varies. And that's you know, rather than looking at it as you have to be the only person with like a unique idea. It's really not the case, because there's going to be people who respond to you better than the next guy, and that's the beauty of YouTube. Absolutely, Doug. His advanced tip: revisit the basics, because there's always something you can improve. And one of the things that I've noticed in that regard is that you revisit the basics and you realize that there was something that like you used to do all the time, and for whatever reason it faded away and you stopped doing it, but it's still something that works really well. You just got out of the habit of doing it. You know, focusing on the best practices and or the fundamentals, as it were. Even though you think you know them all, just simply going back and watching content that even you've watched before, you go, oh yeah, I forgot about that. I can't believe I don't do that anymore. It was really successful for me back then, but for whatever reason, it's like out of sight, out of mind. You know, that kind of thing happens. So, yeah, it's 11:36. We're definitely wrapping up. Hung out a little bit later than I said I was going to. We typically keep these 90 minutes these days, so I know everybody would probably like to wrap up their evening. So, hey, if you haven't joined the Facebook group, I definitely recommend you come hang out with us on Facebook. I'll throw a link in there. Don't forget, TubeBuddy is the sponsor of my channel. #1 browser plugin for managing and growing your YouTube channel. Recently checked out some pretty cool features that are on the way. Definitely sign up for the free version using that link in the description or the chat, and give it a try. I mean, there's nothing to stop you from checking it out. If you hate it, you hate it. Otherwise, follow the links. Get it set up. It's basically a plugin that you put on your Chrome browser or Firefox or whatever it is that you're doing, that kind of works in line with YouTube while you're on it, or when you're uploading a video. It gives you tools and things that you can use, keywords, thumbnails, all kinds of cool stuff. But awesome to hang out with you guys tonight. I'm glad we got to hang out a little bit longer than normal. Thank you so much for coming. If you're new here, consider subscribing to the channel and clicking the bell for future videos that help you deliver your value. I'll stop over on the Discord live stream after party if anybody wants to come hang over there for a minute or so. Throw the link in there if you guys haven't done that as well. But that's all for tonight, guys. Thank you so much for coming and hanging out. You're awesome. I'll see you next time. Really, YouTube? Did you really just do me like that? If you can still see me, I actually tried to end the live stream and it told me I was logged out of YouTube. This is what YouTube's doing tonight. But I can see that I'm logged in. It just won't let me end the live stream. I'm going to be on live stream forever, guys.